Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today, we are taking a look at, you guys know I say it all the time, especially lately, one of my absolute favorite things to do here, a brand new action figure from a brand new toy line. This is the Steel Brigade trooper from Action Force from Valaverse. This is something that's been in the works for quite some time. Phantom Jr. and I actually met the creator of this line, Bobby Vala, back at Joe Fest a couple of years ago, and everything he had on display looked amazing. I was very excited to see the line, and now here it is. It's time to finally see these figures in person, get them in hand, and see what we've been waiting for. Can't wait to go back to Joe Fest this year. By the way, it's a fantastic GI Joe oriented convention that takes place in Augusta, Georgia. Do check it out. But first, check out this figure. And you can see we've got nice packaging here. Shows off pretty much everything that's in the box. Nice window on the front, good clear plastic. On the side, you've got some artwork representing the Trooper, Steel Brigade, 0102, Action Force, Valaverse logo. Everything's really nice and cleanly printed. Great looking graphics, just very cool. And then on the back, look what we've got. You know I love it. The cross sell for the rest of the figures in Series 1, which, by the way, will be available, I believe, this week on Valaverse.com. He has stock available to sell. I backed this from the Kickstarter. And then they're also available, I believe, from BigBadToyStore.com, maybe Dorkside Toys. I think most of your toy retailers have them available. But if you get them direct from Valaverse, then well, I guess at this point, everybody's got them in stock. They're all shipping. So they're in stock wherever your favorite retailer may be. And then the file card on the back, I'm not going to read this whole thing. I will just say is a very nice looking file card, uncluttered by multiple languages. And again, as I always say, I understand why Hasbro does that, but that doesn't mean it doesn't look ugly. So it's very nice to have just a nice clean file card here to clip and save if you so desire. So everything looks great here. And then a little callback to the old G.I. Joe flag points, action points, which I really hope there will be a future promotion here. I love this. But again, go to Valaverse.com to check out pretty much everything about this line. There is an associated comic book, other things underway. So let's go ahead and open this guy up and take a look at what is going on inside. Lots of stuff has been hitting lately. Last couple of weeks, things that I've been waiting a long time for. I'm not going to put over anything else yet, but there's another set of toys that I never thought was going to happen. Action Force, I always kind of felt like, this'll happen. We'll get them eventually. But another line that I just never thought was going to happen is apparently shipping very soon. So stay tuned to the Needless Things YouTube channel for more exciting stuff. All right, we have the Steel Brigade official unit dossier. Very cool. You can fill out your own information on here because if you remember, the Steel Brigade was part of the original G.I. Joe Real American Hero line, and you filled out your information, sent it into Hasbro, and they sent you back a Steel Brigade figure to be your own Joe. And you can see on here, it's recommended that your information be written out on a separate piece of paper first to ensure there's enough room when it is written on your official dossier. If an attempt is made to erase any writing, it may cause damage. So, very cool. You can fill that out. I love it. And then, look at that. A Steel Brigade patch included with the figure. That's awesome. Let's take that out of the little bag here and see what we're looking at quality-wise. So, nice screen printed patch. Looks great. Looks like it's got the iron-on the back, but as always, I recommend you sew your patches on. And if you can't sew, don't be ashamed to take it somewhere and have them do it for you. Your local dry cleaners or alteration place should be able to handle that. This is great. This is going to go on my sort of faux military shirt that I've got to wear to conventions and stuff. This is an awesome looking logo. Now, it has been noted that some of these figures will have stuck joints just due to how toys are made now. Valaverse has done a great job of notifying everybody that this is possible. As a matter of fact, hang on just a second. Sorry, I meant to get this before I came over here, but it was in the bottom of the box. So we've got a note here talking about a big thank you for being part of Valaverse. Contact Valaverse if you need any assistance. Just a really cool little note about the line and what it's taken to get here. I thought that was nice. And then over here, I think this is great because it's basically addressing an unanticipated issue with the line that is not, I don't categorize it as a flaw because so many toys that we buy at retail now have this where the joints might be stuck and need to be heated up. I talk about it all the time on the channel. I think it's great that he sent out this informational sheet. Here's how you fix this, because you guys are probably mostly toy collectors. You've dealt with this kind of thing, and yes, honestly, most Action Force customers probably also are toy collectors. But I really appreciate this because not everybody knows this, not everybody understands this. It's just instructions for how to loosen up stuck joints. I think it was a good call, and I appreciate it. I think that's a very professional thing to have sent out there. Would it be nice if they didn't have stuck joints? Yeah, sure. But this world isn't perfect, my friends. All right, let's see. We've got a beautiful tray here with a cover on the top. You can see, well, we'll take a look in a second. Let's get that cover off the top. And I love this because you guys know how much I hate tape on my accessories. So what we have here is a piece of film on top here because that tray, this isn't necessarily going to keep everything in place during shipment. So we have this film on top rather than individual pieces of tape to keep all the accessories where they're supposed to be. Fantastic. I love this design choice. Film comes right off, leaving no sticky residue behind. And look at that. We've got a load of accessories. Great looking figure. Let's take everything out and see what we're dealing with here. This line, if you don't know, was basically offered and conceived before G.I. Joe Classified was a thing. It was very exciting because it really didn't look like we were going to get 6-inch scale military figures that were, anything like this. And then Hasbro launched Classified. And to me, Action Force actually became more exciting because now, oh my gosh, there are even more hands in here. Almost missed those. Action Force became even more exciting because now we have G.I. Joe and this companion to it just to kind of fill everything out. I always like having multiple toy lines and matching aesthetics and scales. So to me, Classified just made Action Force that much more appealing. So we've got more hands in here. We'll take our snippers and open that bag up. Get those extra hands out. I'm going to put all of our accessories aside. And let's take a look at this figure. And I will note, I have my hairdryer of choice, the good old Conair 1875, which, let me just tell you, no particular reason. This is just the one that I went to Walmart and bought years ago when I realized that action figures with stuck joints were just going to be a thing that I had to deal with as a collector. So that's just, go buy a cheap hairdryer. It does not matter. All right. Detail, my gosh, look at the painted detail on this guy. I'm going to be obviously very careful, as I would with any new toy line. And it looks like the first stick I'm going to have is that not wanting to turn. And I'm not going to force any of these because I'm not trying to break anything here. For the purposes of this review, I just want you to see the quality, the detail, the design of this figure. Oh, look, we got a nice butterfly joint going on there in the shoulder. Can manipulate that pretty easily. I'm a big fan of these kind of becoming standard now in 6-inch scale figures. All right, so our shoulders are moving really nicely, but let's take a look at our detail. The helmet here, head joint also moving nicely. I'm wondering. All right, let me play with this here. So you can see we've got a nice pivot right there, and it's mounted on a ball. I'm not going to pop the head off right now. Well, yes, I am, because look at that. It pops right off. This is going to be one of those reviews where I kind of experiment with how I'm going to do it as I go along. Because, like I said, I'm not trying to break anything here, but also it feels very sturdy. There you go. The head pops right back on very easily. Very distinctive looking helmet. I like this as a sort of brute force trooper guy. Like you would have a lot of these guys who would go. To me, this is not an individual character. This is a trooper, and this is your team that gets sent in to handle whatever's going to be handled. He's got you can see right there, the logo, and nice painted wear on the armor plating on the upper part of the vest. These D rings here, painted, detailed. This is really a beautiful figure. Look, he's got zip ties over here, or are they glow sticks? I believe. Okay, I think those are glow sticks right here. Got a little knife sculpted on there, and yeah, it would be unreasonable to expect that to be removable. That's fine. Although, if you look right here, we have a couple extra magazines for his rifle that are removable, stored right there in the vest. I can't quite get that one out, but that's not what we're here for. That's great. And then in the back here, you can see we've got a little storage for his knife. This is the detail on this is beautiful, and like I said, it feels good. This does not feel. I mean, it feels like a mass market toy, and I mean that in a good way. It doesn't have the feel of like, well, we're independent, so we used a cheaper plastic, so that's how, that's just how it is. It feels good. It feels like a mass market retail toy, but it looks, nicer than that, if that makes sense. All right. So we've got, like I said, we've got a sheath on the vest here. Look at just all of the painted detail and all the clips and everything. The wear on the armor plating looks great. He's got the little handle up here. He's got just all kinds of business, fun stuff to look at in the sculpt here. I'm really, really impressed with this. And if you look under here, he's got this piece is a separately sculpted sort of belt piece. And then underneath, on the trousers, he has a sculpted. Oh, there we go. I can slide that out of the way. He has a sculpted and painted belt. So great touch there. So he's got sort of a web gear belt, and an actual regular belt. All right, this hand is turning pretty nicely, and we've got lots of hands in here. We've got fists, which are great for punching. We all know that. Let's see if I can turn this one, because I really would like to be able to switch these out. Okay, I'm wiggling it loose. It's working all right. Okay, so let's move on down. We've got our fatigue pants here, drop down hips. Got a swivel at the top of the thigh, moving just fine. I've got a couple of thigh pieces that are separately sculpted pieces, but they sit really nicely. They're not loose and falling all over the place. They're actually pretty secure in their spots where they're sitting. You can see all the sculpted detail of the buckles and the straps and everything here, how the straps are painted coming through these portions. All of that sculpted detail there on his little thigh pack. And then holster on this side. And then he's got some knee pads here, very practical. All of this sculpted texture and the wrinkles and folds and everything Really, really looks nice. The quality on this is I'm very, very impressed, I gotta say. And of course, we've got the standard modern ankle joint right here with the peg going down into the foot and then mounted. So that operates like all of your Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified, what have you. And then the boots themselves, we've got a really cool buckle system. You guys, this is a fantastic figure. I am, my expectations were pretty high. Well, my hopes were pretty high. My expectations were, I don't know. I really don't, because we didn't have anything from Valaverse to go by to have any idea of what this might be. Uh, I'm very, very impressed with what I've got in my hands right now. I really, really am. All right. So, as you can see, very cool trooper figure. I dig it. Tons of great detail. Let's take a look at his accessories and see what this guy comes with. Uh, and his vest. Okay, so the vest. Oh, look. Okay, look how the vest is designed here. It's designed to be removable where the clips secure it into place. I like that's a nice little detail. It's not totally necessary to have done it that way, but I love that they did. Very cool. So when you remove the vest, I imagine you're going to have to pop the head off because it's just the one side, which is honestly the way I prefer it. Um, because if you get two sides you have to deal with, it's just a pain. But I'm not going to be removing his vest. I'm going to be keeping this figure as is. So we're just going to leave that alone for right now. Later in the week, I will be, oh, look, elbow pad, painted, detailed, great. I kind of ignored the arm, but it is also very nicely done. Detail on the glove right there. You can see you've got sort of the knuckle duster detail here. Looks great. And then really the joints don't feel they don't feel any stiffer. There are a couple of spots I'm going to heat up, like this hand right here. I'm still a little worried about, but like it really is moving well. Like I have no issues with this guy at all. We've got the ball joint at the waist. In all likelihood, there's another joint here, but again, well, later in the week, I have a figure with separate accessories. It's a base figure that I'll be taking apart, and we're really going to get into the details of these guys with that figure. So anyway, let's take a look at Steel Brigade's accessories and see what we've got going on here. We have a great looking stand. I really dig these stands. We've got 4 pegs, so you've got a lot of options of how you want to pose them on the stand if you were a stand guy. I am mostly not, but sometimes you need them. I love the steel design on here, and then the Action Force logo looks really cool. Great stand, sturdy, feels good. It's a rigid plastic, so it's not like all wobbly or anything. Very nicely done. We have also got a number of hands, as you saw when I was unloading this guy. You've got sort of a standard C grip here. You've got a trigger finger hand. And then you've got a more sort of a holding hand. Those are all your right hands. And then for the left hand, you've got the same thing. You've got the hand that's sort of for holding. You've got a C grip. And you've got your trigger finger hand. Very nice. And the hands, they feel a little stiff, but they're not like gonna break stiff. They're gonna want to heat them up to get guns in there stiff, if that makes any sense. Oh, and look, I just noticed this on the trigger hands. You have got, if I can get it to move, which I may not mess with too much, but these are articulated to go up and down. And the other ones are articulated to go the other way. Yeah, these are, I'm going to heat all of these hands up before, because that is a small, like I said, the plastic feels good, but that's a very small thing to be messing around with. So I'm going to heat these up before I try to move them at all. Okay. We have got a pistol. Very cool looking pistol. Unique design. I like it. Uh, Something different from anything else we've seen, really. And it is going to fit right into that holster. And there you go. All set there. And then we've also got a small tactical knife with a beautifully painted blade. Really nice, shiny silver color on the blade. Looks good. Detailed sculpt on that grip. And this is, both of those are sturdy, rigid plastic. This is not rubber like we've been seeing in a lot of lines. This is solid. I love it. So that is going to slide right into that sheath on his back. Perfect. And then finally, we've got this beautifully detailed rifle. We have, of course, the removable magazine, as we already saw. You've got extras in the vest. Tons of sculpt, beautiful painted detail. This is a great looking rifle. I am a big, big fan of this. And you've got the holes in the front, so you can plug effects from other lines in there if you want to. And I would imagine Valaverse will offer some effects at some point if they don't already. I've got 2 weapons kits that I think only include guns right now, but it would not surprise me a bit if we got some effects from them sometime in the future, if they're not already in the works and I just don't know about it. But beautiful looking rifle. I love it. It is very rigid, which I like, but also I'm a little scared of because we're just not used to dealing with things with thin pieces like this anymore. But it feels solid. I'm not really worried. Like if I was going to be a big goon and start like slinging it around and not being careful with it, there could potentially be an issue. But I mean, it feels good. This does not feel like something that's just going to snap from normal, responsible toy collector posing. All right, so let's do this. This hand was feeling pretty good. Let's get this guy out. Maybe. That does not want to come out of there. So let's try a little heat. I just wanted to do about 10 seconds there just to see how much effect our heat was going to have in a little amount of time. There we go. Popped that right out. And you can see there the paint on this one goes down the peg. So that could be a reason you've got even got a little flaking right here. That could be a reason why that one felt a little bit jammed. And that's fine. I don't really care what that peg looks like, you know? So let's get our trigger finger hand in there, which goes in pretty nicely. And just the heat from what I just did touch this a little bit, and this hand is already a bit looser. So let's try, just for fun, let's try and get that rifle into that hand without heating at all. And look at that. It goes in nicely. And what I'm going to do is, rather than trying to bend anything around this stock, I'm going to take that trigger finger, pull it out, and then put it through the trigger guard that way. So I don't put any undue stress on that stock. And look at that. Oh, man. That is a nice looking troop right there. You guys, I'm going to cut it right here because I feel like I've given you enough of an idea of how sturdy this guy is, how great he looks, that we've got a new contender in the 6-inch military action figure front. This is a very cool figure, incredibly well done. I feel like I got my money's worth out of this one. I recommend you go check out Valaverse.com, or like I said, Dorkside Toys, Big Bad Toy Store. I think they all have them in stock now. order yourself one of these figures. If you don't want Steel Brigade, see what else there is, and find one that appeals to you. But get one of these figures in your hands, check it out, make your own decisions. But for me personally, this gets my recommendation. I really, really like this guy a lot. I think Valaverse did a really nice job on this. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. More Action Force coming this week. More brand new toy lines coming in the coming weeks. So please subscribe, stay tuned. Thanks for watching, you guys.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.